Testing, testing. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Testing, testing. Am I live? Just want to make sure I'm live. Let me know if I am live. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Hold up. Let me just give me one moment. All right. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Alright, testing, testing, testing. Now, am I live? Am I live? Let me know if I am live. I'm not sure if I'm live yet. I haven't actually checked my dashboard because I had to send stuff out onto the Tweetyverse, onto the Twitterverse and all that. So let me know if we are live. It looks like I'm live in YouTube Studio, but who knows these days? People been reporting a lot of messed up stuff with YouTube Studio. So let me know if we are live. Live control room. Test, test. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Was I frozen in anger? You hear me now? I had accidentally pressed a button that caused it to be the Angie mode, but it appears that we are live now. Thanks for coming, GBD and Filter T. Yeah, it's been. I hate it's messing up all my streaming schedule. I had kind of a depressed mood a few weeks ago, and then last week I had a pretty important doctor's appointment, which very thankfully brought back good news. There's a big old problem with my family's history. A big old problem with my family's health history, so I needed to make sure that I wasn't gonna die suddenly one day, and I'm not. Thank goodness. I will be okay. So at least for the time being. So I'm back, and honestly, I've been really craving ice cream. So I wanted to. So I had been watching TikTok. Well, I don't watch TikTok, but I had been watching Future Canoe, who is my favorite food YouTuber, and he's a big reason I started to learn how to cook for myself. And he does a lot of videos where he follows viral recipes on TikTok, tries them out himself, and sees how they go. What's funny is that he'll even post his failures, so if it goes badly wrong and he makes something inedible, he will still post it. Something he did was easy to make milkshakes, and I had been craving ice cream, so I wanted to try that. In fact, let me pull up the video that I was looking at when I wanted to do this stream. Give me 1 sec. It's
And that's a handmade peanut butter milkshake. I made it without a blender, and so can you. Happy Milkshake Monday.
Today we're gonna make
Happy
a
Milkshake
milkshake
Monday.
from the grandpa I never had.
Into a glass jar, 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream.
3 scoops of vanilla ice cream in a cup.
The way he makes cooking look so difficult is so funny.
Half a cup of milk.
Oh, I forgot to get a measuring cup. I'll go grab a measuring cup.
Until almost blended. Takes about maybe 10 seconds.
stir with the Ligma fork till almost blended.
This is where it can get fun. Go to your refrigerator and use whatever you've got. I'm going to use peanut butter.
I've never stored peanut butter in the refrigerator before. Are you supposed to do that? But anyways, the only option in my fridge is strawberry jam. I think this video helped me realize why the Ligma fork is superior than all other forks. Cause you can just move up and down like this with it and it blends the milkshake for
The
you.
Ligma
Let's
fork
make
is like a
hashtag
bent
called
fork.
I made a milkshake.
That's why it's like
you
that.
make one just like this and tag me at the White Elephant and hashtag I made a milkshake.
Let's also start a hashtag called The Boys Are in the Yard and tag me in it so I'll teach you how to get them out.
Well, this is where it gets really fun. Put a lid on. Maybe this is why they call them milkshakes.
This cup doesn't really have a lid, so I'll wrap it in plastic and shake it. Don't ask me why I'm so good at this motion.
Look how thick this is. You can stand a metal straw up in it.
Nope.
Alright, time to give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10.
Oh god.
Nothing
Hopefully
like
that
the
doesn't get
refreshing
me
strawberry
banned
milkshake in
or
summer.
demonetized.
It
Well,
tastes great, but
I'm not even
watching it
monetized to
gives
begin
me
with,
hope
but
and humanity somehow. 9.5 out of 10. Everybody should try it. When's the
yeah, so pretty easy. 3 scoops of ice cream, half a cup of milk, and then just a scoop of whatever you want. And I thought, well, whatever I want, can I put alcohol in it? That friendly old man is a bartender. I saw the bottles back there. He's doing this from a bar. I wonder if we can make some alcoholic milkshakes. And so that's why I want to try today. Let me actually get caught up in chat. You'll be lurking because I'm going to hang out with a friend in VR. Awesome. Hope you have fun with that, Chi. Thank you for the lurk, regardless. I really need to make a lurk command, to be honest, for YouTube. I have one for Twitch, but I need one for YouTube, given that I don't stream on Twitch. Oh no. Oh, nice. Yeah. It was a really scary time, and that's part of why I was so depressed. But now knowing that at the very least for a couple of years, I'm going to be safe. Ligma fork. So it's an in-joke in the community. Actually, So the Ligma fork is an in-joke in the community. It's just like, it's a bent fork. So like this fork is completely straight, as you can see. His is like bent 90 degrees. And then the lore on that is, if you saw one of his earlier videos, when he was trying to like scoop out a lime, he like too aggressively did and just bent the fork, but he just never stopped using the fork despite the fact that it was bent like 90 degrees. And then so he jokes that he uses the Ligma fork all the time, which is just a really fucked up fork. And it's really funny to me. It's like a recurring character. Yeah, he has like a lot of recurring characters in it. So like you notice his monotone voice. Like that's one of the in jokes, is that he always sounds tired and monotone. The Ligma fork is that. The fact that he has quote unquote radioactive chicken because his lighting is bad, stuff like that. Well, peanut butter is supposed to add thickness, so the straw thing may be due to that. Yeah, his peanut butter looked really loose. The future canoes, the kind old man's peanut butter looked pretty thick. But yeah, let's actually try this, and I do want to do a control group first. I am going to just us make a peanut butter milkshake like the old man did, and then we are going to try whatever booze I like afterwards. So let me grab a measuring cup because I forgot to grab that, but give me 1 sec. Okay, so he used the jar. I'm probably just gonna use my shaker because if we need to shake it, and that kind of stands to logic, why else would it be called a milkshake? Where do I put down these other accessories I don't need? Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll probably just use our shaker. And let's get to it. I'm gonna, for our vanilla ice cream, I will be using Dreyer's French vanilla. Partly because I watched a Babish video, and he deduced that Edie's French vanilla was the best vanilla ice cream to his taste, compared to like another expensive brand. And I had never heard of Edie's. I'm like, okay, there's no Edie's where I live. And then I realized, I passed by the ice cream section, that Dreyer's looks exactly like Edie's. I'm like, what's up with that? Turns out Dreyer's and Edie's are the same brand. Just they call themselves Dreyer's in the West and then Edie's in the East. So I did have French vanilla Edie's. It's just called Dreyer's. Oh, you know Edie's? Okay, so you're East Coast then. I hope. Oh, whoops! I just knocked my tracking off board. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, this is already soft. This actually might pose to be a problem if it's this soft already. It might it could be a little troublesome later on if it gets too loose. Ah. Okay. Well. Okay, the fork is going to be used anyway, so. Okay. 3 scoops of ice cream fits pretty cleanly into our shaker. Ooh, that is really good vanilla. I'm not really a huge fan of vanilla either. Like Babish talked about how like he's not a particularly big vanilla fan. In general, my taste is against vanilla, if you know what I mean. But that is a pretty good vanilla, all considered. Half a cup of milk. I usually like using whole milk when I have milk, but wrong side. But I'm just gonna use some Fairlife because my brother's lactose. Half a cup of milk. And then we just blend this with a fork. I imagine shaking this would be pretty decent already, but I can see why he would recommend like breaking it down with a fork first. Just so that you ensure that it's like smooth. So and I imagine like if we were to just shake this like a cocktail, it would actually like it might like aerate to the point that I would look inside and I would have like butter or whipped cream. So I can understand the logic of wanting to break this down with a fork first. Ah, delicious. And then so whatever we want for now, we're gonna try like something normal. And I just realized I only have bar spoons here. I need to grab a regular spoon. I'm coming to the realization that I'm about to consume a ton of ice cream as well. I love ice cream and I'm in the mood for ice cream, but this is going to be a little bit unpleasant. I don't mind vanilla, but I never usually ask for it. Yeah, same. If there's like a milkshake at a nice American diner, I'll go get strawberry or vanilla or whatever interesting flavors they have. I'd never go for the vanilla. strawberry or chocolate, I don't go for the vanilla. That being said, vanilla's my second favorite Nekopara character behind Chocola. I love the OGs more than I love the OGs way back from even before Nekopara ever even existed. Just like Chocola and Vanilla have always been there before Nekopara was ever a VN. Like if an ice cream bar is chocolate coated but has vanilla inside, I'll eat that. Oh yeah, for sure, hell yeah. Like I like vanilla ice cream on top of a brownie. That's just heavenly right there. Like you put a scoop of, you just put a scoop on something hot like that. It's like we talk about like texture differences in food that's delicious. I love like a temperature difference in food that's really good, and that's actually something that people have tried in cocktails too. Like there are some like bespoke like unique cocktails out there where it's like a hot and cold element, and that really adds to it. Anyways, I had to peel this because it was a brand new, but just a scoop of peanut butter. Nice hearty scoop of peanut butter. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, this is probably the last time I'll use this spoon, so I can just lick it. Eating peanut butter directly out of the jar always feels mischievous, always feels devious, but man, peanut butter is good. My goodness. Alright, we don't have a Ligma fork, so we can't do it as well as the canoe can, but I'm sure we can do a pretty good job mixing this up with a regular non-Ligma fork. Wow. It got kind of incorporated in there pretty fast, actually. Let's give it probably a nice, probably just a short shake. I don't think it needs that much. Alright, and let's see how this turns out. Ooh, is this gonna fill all the way to the top? Oh my gosh, look at all those clumps. I don't think the peanut butter mixed in that much. Maybe I need to blend it a little more. Oopsie. Okay, let's see if we can't get blends a little more, because I just saw hella chunks right at the end there. We definitely won't have that problem with the alcohol, but like if we're messing up the control group, like I don't think that bodes well for me. I used to have a steak and shake basically up the street from me. It wasn't amazing, but it was convenient. 24 hours. Oh man, there are no 24-hour places near where I'm at. Can we? Nope. I don't know what the old man was talking about with like being able to stand a metal straw in it, because I have metal straws and this ain't standing. Yeah, we don't have 24-hour places where I'm at, so it's a little bit, it's inconvenient to be a night shifter when nothing is open. Some things are open late enough, like I can hit up restaurants before I do this stream, but like I couldn't eat after the stream because there's nothing open. Oh, it's thick though. Ooh, it was like almost pure peanut butter. Not sure I'm getting much milkshake out of this, but... Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's more milkshakey, and this is good. Oh, yeah. This is really nice. Ugh. Oh, okay. I'm dangerously close to finishing this. We haven't even drank any alcohol yet, but this is delicious. Because I do love me some peanut butter. I'll put peanut butter on damn near anything, even savory stuff. Hi NJ, by the way. Yeah, I'll happily put peanut butter on anything, and like obviously it's great for dessert too. This is giving me the same vibes when Greg made boozy ice cream. I mean, he actually had like an ice cream machine and did all this sciencey stuff. I'm just making some lazy ass milkshakes. But hopefully they turn out half as good as what he was describing, because damn, some of those things look hella good. Oh, okay, yeah, that's really good. Okay. Okay, round one goes to the ice cream. I don't know why I said that. That statement doesn't make any sense, but like the milkshake does work. The milkshake does seem to be pretty effective. I like that. So let's see now if it can handle booze. I realize now that doing this with a shaker is probably inconvenient. I might just stir them though. I might just stir them, so we'll see, because I don't want to have to go back and forth rinsing the shaker. I will rinse the shaker this one time just to see, just in case I need to, but we'll see if we can do this without a shaker from here on. Give me about 2 minutes. Doing good, and just had I could catch you live. Awesome, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Glad to know you're interested in this kind of thing. This is such a weird idea. This is mostly just an excuse to eat ice cream, not gonna lie. I just really wanted to eat some ice cream, and I was like, ooh. I remember watching the TikTok about making milkshakes and how you can make a milkshake out of anything. So yeah, what if I made a milkshake out of booze? Let's see. And let us see. So we've made a normal milkshake now. We made a peanut butter milkshake. It was pretty good. It's not as smooth as I wanted it to be, but also I think I did a bad job mixing it. So lesson learned, I have to mix it better. But also, does this recipe allow you to put booze in it? Let's see. So let's try making it directly in the glass this time and just mixing it up. So let's get more of our ice cream going. Just 3 nice scoops of ice cream. Oh boy, this is... The ice cream is already quite loose, so hopefully I'm not gonna make a gigantic mess in my pot. Half a cup of milk. Same as usual, we're using the Dryers or Edie's French vanilla and just some Fairlife, but use whatever vanilla you like, use whatever milk you like. Now, so I'm not entirely sure what the point of blending it now is. So let's just skip to the booze. And speaking of the booze, so he tells the kind old man told us we can add anything we like. What if I like whiskey? What if I like bourbon? What if I like Old Granddad bourbon? I'm gonna say a full pour, so 2 ounces of Old Granddad. Oh, look at that. It's already starting to change the color a little bit. One time when I was traveling with friends, they learned about a place that had alcoholic cereal milkshakes. Walk forever to it. I don't drink, and I don't remember what I had. I know how to drink. Greg, that's NJ mentioned earlier. He made cocktails out of like cereal, so like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, etc. And he found that it was like, he found that they are awesome flavor enhancers. Like, he could make like legitimately good drinks. It was like, it's gimmicky, sure, but it's like, it was unironically so good. And I tried some of it, like the Scotch Cocoa Pebbles thing, which was like a weird White Russian variant, was so freaking good. It's like a really, because he uses Scotch instead of just vodka, it's like an Isla Scotch, which is like smoky and peaty, and it's like tastes like a burning fire, and it's like that tastes like weirdly toasty with the Cocoa Pebbles. Not Cocoa Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, and it turned out to be just a really good cocktail. Alright. To honor the old granddad, to honor the kind old man who taught us how to make the milkshakes, the old granddad milkshake. Drinking alcohol with a straw sounds very, very much like tempting fate, but let's actually try it like that. It's quite good. It's quite good, actually. Oh my god, thank you, Grandpa. Hashtag I made an alcoholic milkshake. This is actually quite good. Oh, that is so dangerous. Oh, that is so dangerous. This is way too easy to drink. So, I mentioned it in the old-fashioned episode. The old-fashioned is just such a really basic and easy way to like stretch out a bourbon or like any whiskey you like to truly learn all about it. That's actually true of it. Literally any liquid you can add to any cocktail. that dilutes the whatchamacallit, that dilutes the spirit. If you have grog, which is literally just watered down rum, the way back in like the 1600s or wherever, like ships used to disinfect their water by putting rum in it, and so you're not trying to get drunk off the rum, it's there to disinfect your water. And then so it's just a tiny bit of rum to a lot of water. I would say like roughly 6 parts water to 1 part rum. Like you could still taste, because you can still taste the rum, you actually can do a pretty good job of like parsing out the flavors, because of the fact that it's so diluted that like it neutralizes the burn, it neutralizes a lot of like the more unpleasant notes of like being an inexperienced drinker, frankly. And then so you get this really stretched out experience because it's so watered down that you can really explore the flavors. That's what this milkshake does. There's 3 scoops of ice cream and half a cup of milk in here mixed in with the old granddad. And then so I get, it's so diffused through the milkiness, the creaminess, it's so diffused throughout the shake that you do get the complex flavors of it. They're muted. They're quite diluted. So you don't really get the full experience of them, but you do experience the like evolution of it. Like if you are an inexperienced drinker, like you might not be able to appreciate Old Granddad for what it's worth. As someone who loves Old Granddad, like I recognize all these flavors because I make so many cocktails with this drink, and it's actually coming through the milkshake. So that's awesome. Wow, this is such a dangerous way to enjoy alcohol, because if you just hide alcohol inside of a milkshake, it is so easy to drink. My goodness, that is good. That is dangerously good. Oh man. Alright, before I finish that, I need to move on to the next one. Otherwise, I am going to get absolutely blitzed from all this. Oh shit. I'm so stupid. I forgot to charge my phone. Okay, so vertical cam is gonna be down for a second while I charge my phone. Silly me. That's all on me. I totally just forgot to plug in the charger. You're just gonna have to give it a few minutes. I guess till then I could Zatsu a little bit. What do I want to talk about? Oh my god, I'm so into F1 right now. So I think I've yapped about F1 before. I spent when I did that stream where I shotgun 5 beers, I spent a whole like half hour or like rambling about a race. I really do love F1. I got into it the middle of last year, and honestly, like given all the tragedy that had happened to me that last year, it really was kind of a lifesaver in some regards of just the entertaining spectacle that is F1, because of just like all the drama, all the fun storylines that happened. It was such a cool season for F1. And so Drive to Survive is coming, and that's like the Netflix series that got a lot of the West into F1, because it's mostly a European sport. But like Westerners, Americans really got into F1 thanks to Drive to Survive. And I ended up getting like really into F1 Manager. I was already into F1 Manager, but I kind of took a couple months hiatus from it, I'm so back into it. I'm like running through races, managing my own team and whatnot. I'm just so like going crazy in that game. I would love to stream it one of these days if I can ever figure out how to do gaming streams again, because like, man, it's a good Zatsu game too, because it's ironically like both very active and not active at all. It's very inactive in the fact that like you personally don't impact the race. Your AI drivers do so, but you make all the decisions both during the race and outside of the track. So like building factories and like managing finances and like working with sponsors and whatnot. And then so it's like a full-on management experience. It's actually really cool. I think the boozy milkshakes at the place I went to had Captain Crunch berries. What the hell is a crunch berry? I know there's like a lot of niche Captain Crunch flavors nowadays, including one that's like Oops All Berries, which like, it's hilarious that the title of one of their flavors is an apology for its existence. Okay, that should be good now, right? Yeah, okay. We are back. But boozy cereal milkshakes with Captain Crunch berries. I don't remember what Captain Crunch tastes like. I just remember it was like made out of fucking shards of glass. Because I swear those are, for whatever reason... I just needed to make sure it was charging. Yeah, for whatever reason, like Captain Crunch are like made of glass. It is by far like the crunchiest cereal, but like way past the point that it's pleasant. Like I love crunchy food. Sometimes like I'd just be craving like a really crispy wings or something, or like the pleasant crunch of, you know, cereal. Like I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch and whatnot. However it breaks down in your mouth when you're chewing on Captain Crunch, like always gives you like hella sharp spines that as they're going down your throat, they just like scratch the shit out of your throat, and it's so unpleasant. Oh man, I don't ever recall disliking Captain Crunch in terms of flavor. I definitely did not like Captain Crunch because of the way it just like scritched up my throat. My goodness, Captain Crunch, get your shit together. Stop hurting your customers. Alright, speaking of Captain Crunch and all this naval stuff we talked about, I definitely want to try this with rum. You would think if it's so... Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, you would think that it being so loose would mean that it's actually easier to get out with the scooper, but apparently not. Right. 3 scoops of ice cream. Oh my god. Is it working now? Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that didn't cut off for... Hopefully that didn't cut off for too long. So, 3 scoops of our ice cream, vanilla ice cream, half a cup of milk. As per the usual. These were like slightly smaller scoops though, because 1, I feel like I'm already going through the ice cream too fast. And 2, like I do feel like it was overflowing a bit when I was making these before, so I need to make sure to like moderate it. And I'm thinking rum. I'm thinking either Panerai 5-year or Smith and Cross. Which one do I want to try in milkshake form? I'm gonna have to open this new Panerai because I finished the old Panerai. Ooh, man. Man, Panerai 5-year is so good. It is so good. It tastes like... Yeah, I mean, the usual weird bananas, but like so much caramel. It's so creamy, weirdly. It's so creamy. It's so like baking spicy. Like, oh, Panerai is so good. Yeah, I mean, also, wrong direction. Smith and Cross is like goated. Just hardcore, like moldy bananas, but in a good way. Like the reason why like we talk about it like in terms of like moldy bananas. And, what's going on with my phone? It keeps freezing for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, like, yeah, it's just hardcore bananas. Like hardcore, like moldy rind bananas, but in a weirdly good way. Like imagine like it's hard to describe why that's good because it's like anything rind is bad, but it's sort of like it doesn't taste like normal bananas is the thing you have to understand. It doesn't taste like you take a fresh banana and you bite into it. It tastes like a really soft banana that tastes weird. Like it's undeniably a banana. There's nothing it could be other than a banana, but it tastes weird. And that's why we refer to like it is kind of like how a rind banana smells, but in a good way, because it's like you know it's sweet and banana-y, but like you know there's something weird about it when you smell a rind banana. That's what this tastes like, is like all the pleasant parts of that sensation, and it's really good. So yeah, I'm not sure. The 5-year is super good. The Smith and Cross is super good. Can't go wrong with Smith and Cross. Yeah. I mean, I was planning when I planned this stream, I was basically already set. Whoa. I was already set on Smith and Cross, but then I tried the Panerai 5-year and was like, ugh, damn, that's good too. But yeah, let's just go with the old faithful, the Smith and Cross, because I know for a fact this will be good. Ooh, oh gosh. Okay. We're gonna need to be careful with it at first. Ooh, yep. It's already having trouble containing itself. God, that's... Oh my god. The parts I spilled are always so lovely, so delicious. If you can seriously make milkshakes like this, I swear to God, you would make giga profit at restaurants doing this. You're only putting like 2-ounce pours, but you can charge like $12 for this and just like profit like crazy with these. Hell, you probably aren't even doing full 2-ounce pours because you're like a restaurant working towards a profit margin. You could dilute this even further, but like at my bar, if I were to ever do this, I ain't skimping on that. Okay, it's not as smooth as you would probably want it to be, but I don't care that much about that. Oh my lord, that tastes good. Oh my lord, this can't miss. Oh my lord, my phone is... Seriously though, what's going on? Okay, let me actually try something. Let me just try to fix something real fast with my vertical camera. Letting this melt a little bit will be good for it anyways. Okay, it's not gonna lock up on me, right? Still showing me stirring. Okay, yeah. Smith and Cross milkshake. They don't have the colors we necessarily want, but this is I promise you, like, these are gain infused. The old granddad got well infused. This is probably gonna get well infused because I could taste it right away. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's just that, it is just hardcore Jamaican funk as a milkshake flavor. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just like the typical creaminess of a milkshake with the ice cream and the sugar and the milk. Just like diffuses all of the like like baking spice and like apples, and then the weird banana that I keep talking about, just the weird like Jamaican funkness of it. Oh my lord. Oh my lord, if you're here for a fun time, not a long time, make these. If you're here for a fun time, not a long time, make these. It's too easy to drink. It is so dangerous. I could chug this in like 3 seconds, but I'm not, because I know that if I drink that much alcohol that fast, it is going to fuck me up. It is going to fuck me up. Honestly, this is making me think like, could I go even further? Could I make a cocktail and add milk and ice cream to it, and then make like a Mai Tai milkshake? That honestly sounds pretty good too. Though that being said, like adding lime juice to milk sounds like a bad idea. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my, okay, I need to go in for more. Like my body is craving more of this. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so dangerous. Like I want more. I keep wanting more, but it's like I know for a fact that this is not good for me. Yeah, just like same thing I said about the whiskey. Just it's so diffuse. It's so diluted by all the milk and cream that it like, but it's so diluted, and yet it's powerful enough to just, instead of being lost, it just radiates throughout those other ingredients. So like through like so I talked about like walking through the cocktail. In this case, it's like through a sheen, through like a screen, like a white screen, like if you know those like paper walls in Japan, like through the screen of the milk and ice cream, you see through it, just like the dance that is the Smith and Cross, the dance that is the spirit within. As my phone dies again, it's just such a. I mean, like, you really need to use good bottles for this. Like, don't use like a fucking like Wild Turkey or like some shitty like spiced rum. But if you're using like quality bourbon, if you're using quality rum, like these are gonna turn out lovely, because it just these powerful flavors like stand up to all that milk and cream, and so instead of being lost in it, they intertwine with it in a pleasant way. And like ice cream and milk is pretty inoffensive, so it is going to like supplement it quite well. Whew. Okay, I know I want to try sake next, but it's like we have a lot of different stuff we can do. What do I want to try next? Ooh, a gin. Gin sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna do vodka because that would just taste like vanilla ice cream. Like, it's gonna taste like vanilla ice cream that gives me an extra bad headache. Absinthe would be crazy. Should we try absinthe? I do love absinthe. I'm an absinthe fiend. Curacao could be pretty good, like an orange, like putting some orange curacao, like having that cognac and curacao go in with ice cream. That sounds really nice. And I brought out the sake for good reason. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna follow my heart, and I'm gonna do sake for the next one, just in case this is the last one. These are the last of these fancy cups, but oh right. I really wish I didn't need to reset this all the time, though. Possibly because of the low power mode. Maybe it's because of low power mode that it just keeps like dying on me. Okay. I just need to remember to tap it constantly. How am I doing on ice cream? Okay, there's still like plenty of ice cream, but it's also like, one, it's melting rather rapidly. Two, like it's concerning how much ice cream I've already gone through. This might be the last one, but I really wanted to try it just because it's my favorite spirit ever. Well, Oh, I really want to try the absinthe one. We could do this again. We could definitely do this again. Just at some point, we could just like try all the bottles at some point. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. For now, maybe it's okay to have a short stream every now and then. Let's try a sake in milkshake, because sake remains my favorite beverage of all time. That being said, absinthe is getting up there. I do love me some absinthe. And then maybe after that we could just drunkenly prattle on about some Formula One, because honestly I'm just so excited for the new season. I haven't really been excited for a sports thing in a while because my Giants in American football have been so dog shit. But like Formula One like is always exciting because there's always storylines just like up and down the grid. There's always someone to follow, and it doesn't really make sense to only be loyal to one team. Like you can be, but it's hard to like not follow the stories as they come along because all the stories are so interesting. I joke with my friend, like everyone in F1 feels fake because their stories are just all so... all their stories are so brilliant. They're so like they all could be like Hollywood stories about like this up and comer, whether it's like the chosen one like Lewis Hamilton, who was like groomed from such a young age to be an F1 driver, or like your Charles Leclerc who like his father died and he told a lie that he did make it to Formula One even though he hadn't yet, and he was still trying to earn his stripes, and like he wasn't sure if he was gonna make it, but then now he gets to drive for Ferrari, the biggest name in Formula One. Or like even people in the back of the grid, just like who would be a good example, like George Russell like started from the back. He was like a very prominent F2 star who like very fiery, very confident in himself, despite that he's in a last place team that fails to score any points. But he's so confident in himself. He knows that he feels like he deserves to be fighting for championships, and then so he works so hard for his team despite the team laying him down all the time. And it's just like crazy stories up and down the grid. Or like just the dominance of Max Verstappen. Like everything good and bad about Max Verstappen is incredible cinema. Like literally all of them are fake people because it's so intense. All of them. All of their stories are just fucking like they could be anime. It's crazy. And man, I would love to like do a watch along of a race at some point. I think that would honestly be awesome. Honestly, like that's I was thinking about this while I was grocery shopping today because I needed to buy more ice cream and peanut butter and whatnot. If and when I ever get into a corpo, I might force like my gen mates or my wave mates or whatever to like watch a Formula One race. No, not watch a Formula One race. Have them watch 2021 with them, because I watched 2021 2021 is considered like the best season of all time, and that includes like past days. Like people talk about, oh, it's like the entire history of F1, and it's been going on for like 70 years. 2021, by some people, by a lot of people's metrics, including longtime fans who are like generations older than us, like 1 or 2 generations older than us, refer to 2021 as the best season ever, because it is like the closest fight of all time between 2 excellent drivers. Lewis Hamilton at the back end of his prime, Max Verstappen in his prime, and like the drama, the back and forth racing, the hard crashes that they did that nearly killed each other. Honestly, like it's insane. And so like I would love to like let people experience why this sport is so exciting. Anyways, enough boring things about sports. Let's get back to the milkshake. The last milkshake of the day, I think. I'm actually starting to get a little bit of a sugar headache. Kyodai. Oh, I actually know why I'm getting a headache. It's because I didn't have coffee yet. But yeah, I need that. Kyodai. A nice nigori, which is to say it has like all the stuff blended up into it. Speaking of coffee, actually, like pour coffee liqueur on top of your ice cream. Just pour some scoops of ice cream and then pour a measure of like I think Kahlua would do it too, but preferably something like Mr. Black. Oh boy, this one doesn't want to behave. And thank me later. Like an alcoholic affogato is legit just infinitely improves just that basic scoop of ice cream. Just like put a little bit of affogato over it. It gets you a tiny bit drunk. It gives it a very nice, like coffee and ice cream are just such a natural flavor combination because it's sort of like chocolate, and it just goes together so well. Oh boy, this one particularly doesn't like staying together. What if I just like gently fold this together? Oh boy, it's leaking out the backside, ain't it? Okay. Oh my lord, it tastes really good though already. Okay. Note to self, use bigger cups next time. You know what, I'm just going to continue on my F1 brain rot. In addition to just how crazy the title fight was between the 2 top drivers, the 2 top rivals, there were so many like interesting storylines behind them too. Like the main story obviously is the closest title fight in F1 history. The most tense, drama-filled fight in F1 history. And then alongside that is just like so much like midfield drama, because you have to remember that like I wish that would stop happening. For whatever reason, this vertical camera doesn't want to behave today. Inherently, Formula One is not a particularly balanced sport. The top teams will generally always be the top. The bottom teams are generally always bad. But like, because of that, there's like different tiers of drivers, different tiers of teams, and that actually leads to a weirdly interesting dynamic too, in which there could be like 4 or 5 different races going on in a single race weekend. So you would have, oh my god, that was so good tasting. You would have like the top contenders in the title fight. You would have like you would have like Ferrari and McLaren going at each other in the background, and then you would have these random fights between like these random like battles, so, like wheel to wheel, like racing, close racing, hard racing between like Williams and say Alfa Romeo. You don't have to know anything about these teams other than that like these guys are in the back. Despite the fact that these guys are in the back, they are fighting for their lives just because it's a competitive sport. Like there's only 20 seats available, so even these back row teams are like fighting and clawing to continue to deserve the chance to drive. And it's really cool. My goodness, this is already good. Ooh. Okay, so this one actually I don't think is as good as the other ones. Unfortunately, it's a very good sake, and I've been very open about my love for sake. I think it's exactly what I've been saying. Like the other ones, when you have a main spirit like a rum, like a bourbon, they pop. They are very strong. They can stand up to all that ice cream and all that milk. I don't think the sake can. The sake in general is a pretty mild flavor. It's a very like modest flavor, so I don't think it stands up as well. When it pokes through, it is delicious though. Yeah, I get a little bit of that strawberry and the other fruits and like just like the rice wine element of it. It pokes through every now and then, but I don't think it's powerful enough to stand up to all of the milk and cream. And even more dangerously, like, because it's not as strong, it doesn't at all taste like it's alcoholic, even though there is a full 2 ounces of sake in there. It will still fuck you up. The other ones, at least, rum and bourbon, are powerful enough to let you know that they're there, and by letting you know that they're there, it does remind you that it is alcoholic. This does not tell you that it's alcoholic at all. It hid that fact from you. It was hiding its ID. Oh my goodness. Even in the F1 video games, like I could be talking to you about like stories from the F1 Manager game. I was actually talking to my friend at work about just like F1 Manager, or because like so much crazy shit happened in my F1 video game, and that could like feasibly happen IRL. And so it's like the whole thing with the F1 in general is just like following the storylines, following the drama as it were, because there's so much like, it is the sport that demands the most contact. Well, whatever. the stream part is over. Is the sport that demands the most context. It is the sport that like again, like it might be boring to know that like Max Verstappen won the first race of last year by over 20 seconds and no one was even close, or that like Mercedes was far behind, or what's with this Sergio Perez guy in the back. you need context for like basically everyone for everything that's happening, but once you get the context, it's super fascinating to follow these storylines along. Like you have to know what you're seeing before you can appreciate it, but when you can appreciate it, it's like really great. Or it's like, you know, other sports like soccer or football or basketball or whatever. You could just watch the game, you even with no prior knowledge, and you would get the gist of what's happening. With F1, like, you know, there's a race happening that the fastest man wins and all this stuff. It's hard to really appreciate why Zhou Guanyu gained 8th place is so significant. It's hard to appreciate why Max sounded so mad during the Hungarian Grand Prix. It makes you really start to appreciate 2021 Abu Dhabi even more when you realize is the final battle of the closest fight in F1 history. So it's just, there's so much I want to talk about with it. I just really, really can't wait for Drive to Survive Season 7. Ugh. And all these milkshakes are making me... It might be it's a weird... Alcohol is a depressant. It's sort of like it does kind of slow you down, but then like, man, all this sugar is getting me amped up, and I just want to consume more F1 content. I had been like rewatching races recently, to be honest, too, but just because I'm so excited for the F1 season. I honestly wish more VTubers would talk about it. I've heard, I don't think it's Gigi. It's like the Android girl from HoloLive. I haven't watched HoloLive in a long time. I haven't even watched like Gen 2, let alone the fact that there's like a Gen 3 and Gen 4 of EN now. So I haven't really watched any HoloLive, but I know like there's like an android or puppet girl, and she, at the very least, she might watch F1 because she and Gigi were talking about something, and for whatever reason, Gigi started talking about F1 yaoi. Even though these people are real people and not like comic book characters, manga characters. I know Curie Kilovolt is like deeply into racing. She's her whole spiel is that like she's a racing. Her whole like design is a race car driver, and she like tweets about races all the time, and apparently does a lot of like race game content. Lately, I've been getting into reading weird old comments. Lately, I've been getting into reading weird old comics, well, skimming them anyways. Like, basically every comic that's ever been published is now available, so I've been thumbing through stuff from the 50s that would cost thousands to read. Oh, whoa. Does that affect the price at all? Because it's like, the whole point is that they're rare and people haven't seen them, right? So if they're now publicly available online, wouldn't that tank their value? I remember an old friend of mine used to collect comics, and like he was really interested in getting like sealed and never opened versions of all sorts of stuff. Ooh, this is growing on me. I think it didn't get incorporated well because I'm starting to get a lot of sake flavor from this. Well, the value is in the physical object. I guess that's fair. Like, people would already know what's inside the comic, and therefore, like, the significance is that you have it physically, not necessarily that the content is secret. I've been reading them online. Nice. It's hard for me to get into comics. I just never know really where's a good place to do it, especially because I just don't. For one, I'm not really into Western movies to begin with, but like even from like an anime perspective, like the equivalent would be manga, right? And like I can't read manga because I can never stay on track with manga. My huge issue with manga is the fact that so like it's the same issue but to an extreme with like ongoing anime. I almost never watch ongoing anime because like it feels so bad, like especially if you're really into something, like you want to read, you want to watch like every episode, you want to binge it, you want to see as much as you can, you want to do it at your own pace. But then it's like if it's ongoing, like okay, you watch it for 20 minutes and then it's done. And then you have to wait a whole week building up anticipation. And then like of course like some anime fall off, like oh my god, like this plot twist was so shitty, or like the animation quality dipped because they ran out of budget, or like this and that, where it like goes wrong. And like suddenly all that built up hype just like feels like it was for nothing. Or the other way around, like it ends on such a cliffhanger and you're like, oh my god, I really want to watch the next episode, and maybe it was hype and it was good, but it's like but I have all this pent up emotion that I want to see what's next, but you don't get to see it until next week. And I already feel that way about anime, and you quote unquote only get like 20 minutes of enjoyment out of watching the anime. And then after that, like you don't even get the satisfaction of like 20 minutes. It's like a 5-minute read for every new chapter of manga. And then so like you're keeping up with the story, you're like, especially because arcs take like several chapters to get through, so it's like, okay, what's gonna happen next, oh my god, it's a cliffhanger, or it's like, oh my god, this is going wrong, what's gonna happen, or this is going so right, what's gonna cause it to go wrong. And then it's like it's so agonizing just like reading it so slowly, like week by week, and it just I can't deal with that. So what would happen is like I've read stuff like Hayate no Gotoku, I've read like Shokugeki no Soma while it was still ongoing. I was reading I forget what it was, but it was like about this inventor dude who was like a teacher and he was super cool. But the huge issue is just that I just don't want to like wait. So what would happen is I would just decide, fuck it, I would like not read it for like you know, I need to just let it go for a while so that I can build up a lot of chapters and then binge watch it again, binge read it again, and then just forget that it exists, because like in order to build up like 20 chapters you need to not read it for a few months, and then I just straight up forget that it exists, and then at that point I'm no longer really a fan. So it's like it's hard for me to really keep up with manga. And like even more so with comics, because there's so much to catch up on, and then it gets like retconned or changed with the times or whatnot, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's really difficult for me to like do any sort of like reading media. maybe that's just a skill issue on my part, but I just really I enjoy it because I've enjoyed the manga I read. It's just that I can't bring myself to like keep up with something that's so ongoing. Let alone the fact that I get so depressed when something ends. And I can't imagine, one, like I already have a problem with anime and almost knocked over a bottle. I already have a problem with anime ending just because it's like, good or bad, I'm depressed that the anime is over. Like I won't see these characters again. I get really parasocial in that way. Two, like if it was a particularly bad ending. It does kind of sour it, but it doesn't feel like it as wasted a time. It's like, oh, this manga has been going on for like 8 years, and then it ends so shittily. Like how apparently My Hero Academia did. Like apparently it ended on such a shitty note that people just feel like they wasted 8 years of their life, or however long that series has been going on. Or like, to go back to the previous point, like it amplifies how sad I am to be leaving these characters. If like, say I had just finished watching Kaguya, and I'm so sad that series is over, that anime series is over, and like even the manga is over, and like while I could read it front to back now because it's not ongoing, I'm gonna be extra depressed when it's done because it's the characters graduated. There's no story anymore. The story is over, and I'm depressed about that. That's a lot of rambling to justify me not wanting to read stuff. That's probably really bad. This is like a really bad justification for that. I just went back to the bourbon one, and it's so good. The hollow girl you mean is Cecilia Immergreen. She's like a wind-up automaton doll. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. Certain kinds of artists who, the Not Safe for Work or brand, draw her similarly to how they drew Maria from Niji and the like marionette doll with all the doll joints and whatnot. It's really interesting, just character design in general. I know there's a Twitch streamer like that too, a Twitch VTuber who's like, and they're male, like they're a male VTuber in like a female's body, and it's because they're a cursed doll or something. I forget the exact lore of it, mostly because I don't watch them, but it's a cool sort of a model and saying. Man, won't lie. Part of the other part of me getting so back into F1 Manager is procrastinating on editing my videos. I did get started. That one day I talked about on Twitter where I talked about editing my own videos. I did get started and I did make a lot of progress that day, but man, it's so hard to listen to my own voice, especially listen to my cringiness or like needing to cut through like all the really bad like stumbles or like the dead air as I'm like cleaning my stuff in between. It's tough. That doll is Joel. Friends rated him a few times. Yeah. I know his name. I don't really know much else about him other than that he's another Babiniku. Maria Marionette is a doll that's come to life, so in theory she shouldn't have any joints. Oh, okay. Some more spicy lore regarding her. I like joints myself though. It adds character to me. It definitely adds character when they're like when there's like a particular quirk in their design that makes it, that adds to them. Like it, I would say like, what would be a good example? I can't think of one off the top of my head. Oh, actually, I think Shondo has talked about this. Fallen Shadow has talked about like she always wants you to put ribbons on her. No, but that's not what I was more thinking of. What was it like? Because of a certain animal feature that it's like a pretty essential part of them. 10 lines. 10 lines is good. 10 lines is pretty good. I was thinking more like fantastical features, like the whole doll joints thing we were talking about. Doll joints and 10 lines are pretty similar thematically. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, I don't think. That feels wrong, but it also doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, I guess sort of, because it's like, okay, it like 10 lines clearly separate, like if you were wearing a t-shirt and you had 10 lines, you could there's like a separate stitches. Okay, yeah, like Ollie's a good example of that. Like, yeah, her body's all stitched up, and then so that's a good example of like a weird, like, different body mechanics to their model. Oh boy. Oh boy, I think I really need that coffee now, and I really need to, like, have water. Ugh. Oh, it's gonna kill me if I don't think of one. Because, like, there's normal stuff like tails and, like, ears and stuff. Oh man, there would be a really cool. There's a. Oh man, So I was thinking of like the burned girl from Katawa Shoujo, who has like half of her face is burned, and then I wondered if there could be like VTubers like who represent disabilities, like someone who has trouble walking, or someone without arms or whatnot, trying out VTubing, to have like those kinds of disabilities sort of reflected on their model. That could be really cool, actually. That would be really cool, like an armless VTuber like doing their thing somehow. I'm not sure what content they would do. I'm sure they would get a lot of attention from the feet bros. Oh god, why did I bring it there? Ugh. Never mind, it was a bad idea after all. Never mind. Actually, well, okay, you can go like halfway through that, because I'm thinking of like the Guilty Gear character. There's like this Guilty Gear character who's a swordswoman, and she's like super cool and badass, and she only has one arm. I think it got I don't know any Guilty Gear lore. I just assume it got sliced off at some point. But she's still like a badass person with only one arm, and like she's a swordsman, and you fight with her sword in game, and it's really cool. That could be a really fun story. And having like a model that reflects that with not having the arm. That's an interesting idea. A few people have eye patches, but I assume they all have both eyes. Yeah, or like it's a Chunibyo thing / like demonic eye thing, where it's like they could take off the eye patch if they wanted to. So it's like, so that's an excuse to be able to take the eye patch off. Maybe. I keep reaching back for the rum and the bourbon ones because they're so good. They really are so good. Now, I definitely want to revisit this and try this with like absinthe. I think absinthe could turn out really good. Gin definitely sounds good. Like probably a drier gin, like a London Dry. Yeah, we definitely need to revisit this milkshake idea. These alcoholic milkshake ideas, because this has been a delicious flavor experience. But in the meantime, I really ought to drink some water. I really ought to have some coffee. So I think I'm gonna end it here. But thank you so much, particularly you, GBD, for sticking around so long. Thank you for everyone who came by. If there's anyone who actually watches these VODs, thank you for sticking around this long. And yeah, conclusions. Whatever. The footage is all messed up because the vertical camera kept conking out. So I'll have to figure out what causes that another time. But yeah, thank you. This was fun. I really miss streaming. I promise you, I do want to do this every week. In fact, I want to do it more than once a week, but it's hard for me right now. Now that whole depression phase went away with a good medical report, I should be able to be consistent again. So we'll think of something else to do next week. Next week, I want to try actually doing cocktails for a certain VTuber. If you check my Twitter, x.com/kazarinonatsu, there is a VTuber I actually quite like. She's like one of the few VTubers I watch on Twitch, Sugi Aoki. And she's like this woodland dragon who... her design always involves like some liquids on her body. So it's like she's a woodland dragon, and then her design, she like does adventuring stuff. She kind of has like a Ryza vibe to her, the Atelier Ryza. And her first design had like circular vials filled with liquids, I assume are like mana potions and health potions that I made for her. And she has a new design, which is like these test tubes filled with more liquid. And so I kind of want to try making cocktails based on those. So that's probably what I'm going to try, if not next week, in the near future, just because like... you know me, I get brain rotted. When I think of something, I'm gonna like obsess over it for a while. So I definitely want to try that. Barring that, I'm sure I'll think of some fun alcohol idea. I'll always have a craving of some kind that I could always fulfill on stream for you guys. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, just honestly, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.